Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another foundation review, of course, for oily skin. And in this video, we are talking about the brand new Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. I've had so many requests to review this foundation and let you guys know how this performs properly on really oily skin. So that is, of course, what we're doing here today. As per all of my normal foundation reviews, I will show you guys applying it, my first thoughts, then I'll wear the product throughout the entire day. Probably, what's the time now? Okay, so it's 9:30 a.m, so I'll probably wear it up until like maybe 9 o'clock tonight. And I'll come back at different points during the day as well to show you how it has worn. So if you haven't heard of this yet, you're about to, basically. I'll just read you what it says on the back of the packaging here. The ultimate foundation for flawless looking complexion. It's a waterproof formula that provides complete coverage that lasts all day or all night with a matte finish that never looks overdone. It says here that it is full coverage, long wear, matte finish, waterproof, and oil free. So, I mean, based on that, it sounds like it'd be reasonably good for oily skin, doesn't it? Comes in a cute little box. Now, before we get into actually applying the foundation, I do want to discuss the shade. I have picked this up in shade 6.0. Now, when I was swatching this in store at Ulta, I swatched both colors sort of on the back of my hand and also on my face. Immediately, the 6.5 matched me a lot better than the 6. The 6 looked a little bit too light, but then I left both the swatches on my hand, and then I came, I was shopping in Ulta buying way too much stuff that I didn't need. By the way, there's a haul coming. And it had oxidized probably 1 to 2 shades deeper than my skin tone, so I ended up picking up the lighter shade. So do bear that in mind if your skin reacts with foundations and tends to oxidize as well, because that just might be something to consider when picking this up. The packaging is really, really cute. It comes in like a chrome plastic bottle. Feels quite lightweight, to be honest, with sort of like a window design showing the foundation color through the bottom. Shade name is on the bottom of the bottle, and then you remove the lid and it's like a little pump applicator. We loaded this full coverage foundation with such an insane amount of pigment that a little goes a long way, and there's no need to build your coverage or apply multiple layers. Okay. Shake well, then buff on with one of our Urban Decay Pro Foundation brushes. Well, sorry, Urban Decay, but I don't have one of your Pro Foundation brushes, so you know what? We're going to improvise. But we'll give it a shake. And I'm going to put the product on the back of my hand. See, as you can see, straight up it looks too light for me. I mean, obviously, I'm matching the foundation to my neck and not my face. My face is obviously pale. We get that. But on my hand, it does look quite light. So that's the product there. I've already primed my face. I did use the Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer today. Love this stuff, you guys know that. Let's go straight in and apply this. All right, I'm just going to go straight in with a brush and pick up that product on my hand and first stipple it all over my face. So straight up again, when I first applied, it looks a little bit too light, but I promise you by the time it finishes drying down and all the rest of it, it oxidizes on me. I don't know why. I don't know. Probably I would assume it will oxidize on everybody. But yeah, just beware. This stuff is full coverage though. I've only applied a little bit of product and look at that portion of my face. Yes, honey! Could use this foundation to cover up all of my sins. That'd be good, wouldn't it? It does kind of seem like it sets down. So you probably need to work with this quite quickly. But very easy to blend. As you can see, I'm applying it quite quickly. Not having any dramas blending it. You can already see it's darkening. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you? Okay, so it would seem that one pump of the product, probably we could call it 1.5 pumps because I did prime it kind of first, is enough to cover your entire face. This is looking pretty good. I don't feel like I would need to go in with any extra foundation to cover up any blemishes. You saw that I had this little area of hot mess going on. Thank you, hormones. Love you guys. Not. But it's covered those blemishes really well. It's covered my redness. It's very full coverage. And, oh, it's dried down kind of like to a powder finish. Ooh, that's cool, isn't it? And again, as you're watching here, it's continuing to oxidize and get darker on my face. Much darker than it was when I first applied it. Okay, let's zoom you guys in so you can see my skin nice and close up. Maybe even a little too close, but whatever. That's what we're all here for, right? That is what my skin is looking like right now. As you can see, very full coverage, not cakey. It looks quite natural on the skin, to be honest. It's dried down to like a velvety smooth kind of texture. It doesn't feel sticky or cakey. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't feel heavy. So far really good. Like I said, I wouldn't need to, well, I mean, you could if you wanted, but I don't feel like I would need to go and apply any extra coverage. So what I will do now is go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup and show you guys what it looks like all finished and how I went blending things on top and whatnot. And then I will be back to show you the finished look. So yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so here is the foundation all finished with the rest of my makeup on. It looks really, really good. I actually didn't even feel the need to apply concealer. Normally I would put concealer down through my T-zone, but honestly, the foundation had enough coverage, so I didn't even bother. It still looks very natural. I mean, obviously it's full coverage, so that's not very natural, but you guys know what I mean. It looks like lightweight on the skin. Doesn't look cakey or heavy. It has built up a little around my nose. I don't know if you can see sort of in there. It has settled. But predominantly, like nearly every foundation will do that on my skin anyway. Hasn't settled into my pores at all. They don't look emphasized or bigger. And there's definitely absolutely no oil going on. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this wears throughout the day. So it is 10:15 now. So I will come back and I will show you guys probably at around lunchtime or maybe mid-afternoon. And then later again tonight to show you guys how it wears during the day. Fingers crossed on my oily skin. It doesn't like melt and like drip down my neck. Fingers crossed. Okay, so it's approaching 5 p.m. here now, and this is what the makeup is looking like. In terms of oil control, it is doing really, really well. The only thing that I have noticed that is a negative for me is that the pores, I reckon that it has settled into my pores, to be completely honest. Like, the pores on the tip of my nose are really visible and normally they're not. That could be related to the fact though that I didn't even bother going in with any concealer on top like I normally would before the powder, like I just did foundation. I mean, they don't look really any different on the cheeks. Like, my cheeks look how they always do and like everywhere else looks like how it always does, but just on the tip of my nose here, like you can really see those pores. I can't believe like it's not oily at all. I certainly wouldn't touch this up at all, and it's been on for 6 hours about-ish. No, hang on, wait. 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Yeah, 6 hours. Hasn't settled into fine lines, so my smile lines around my face or like my crease marks. Look how funny my eyebrows go when I frown. Like this one just goes... Let's try and take off. Oil control looks fantastic. The settling around my nose is no different to earlier. Hasn't gotten any worse. And I mean, it's really easy just to take a finger and sort of push that back into place anyway. No big deal at all. Really, really happy with this. Maybe my pores look a bit bigger on my forehead too, actually. Yeah. The only thing that's looking odd at the minute is my nose. You can see the pores in my nose, but other than that, oil control is looking awesome. Like, do I look shiny to you guys? I don't really. Like, I look pretty good. Zoom you in quickly, and then I will come back again later on tonight before I take off my makeup and update you again. Not oily at all. It looks so good, but I don't know if you can see, you can just see the pores on my nose there. That's the only thing that I'm finding to be a bit odd. The rest looks awesome. So yeah, I will see you guys in a few hours. Okay, so it is super late here now, guys. It is 27 minutes past 11 at night. So all up, this foundation has been on, well, it's been on since 9:30, so more than 12 hours, about 13, 14 hours. You know what? Considering that, this is looking pretty dang good. I'm quite oily, sort of in the middle of my forehead here, and like, look how bloodshot my eyes are from having these eyelashes on for so long. Look, my eyes all watered everywhere. But yeah, considering how long, oh god, I look mental close up. Considering how long this has been on, I think that that is pretty damn good. It definitely holds up well with oil production. Like, normally certainly by this time of, you know, a long wear foundation, I am a hot, greasy mess all through the T-zone, my nose, my forehead, my chin, up here underneath my eyes, even under here, under where my contour goes. Normally I am like shining like a disco ball, but this product has kept it pretty well under control, which I'm really, really happy about. It's broken up a little bit in between my eyebrows here, definitely. It's broken up, like it's got a sort of completely disappeared around my nostrils, but you're not normally going to wear a foundation for as long as I have worn it today. In terms of needing the concealer, I think I should have put concealer on my nose, like the end of my nose, like it's definitely broken up, and you know, at certain times through the day I sort of looked at my nose and I was like, oh, it looks a little bit red, you know, more red than it normally would. So I think that for, you know, 14 hours of wear, this has held up really, really well. I certainly did not expect it to last as well as it did. I've got to be honest, I've never tried an Urban Decay foundation before. Certainly never a brand that I've gravitated towards in terms of bases and foundations. Like, I love their eyeshadows and stuff, but I've never bothered, you know, with their foundations, because obviously being such an oily girl, I'm very specific about, you know, what foundations I can wear and what I can't and things like that. So yeah, Urban Decay, you have done so well on this. It is looking really good. A couple of tips before I go: definitely use a pore minimizing primer with this one. I found that it has settled a little bit on my forehead and the tip of my nose, more so than products generally do. It does dry down to a powdery sort of velvet finish, but do set it if you are oily like I am. Definitely do set it. Use concealers as you see fit. You might not get redness like I do, you know, underneath my skin during the day, so use concealers as you see fit. It is very, very high coverage, you know, as far as the foundation goes. So yeah, definitely, I personally need to wear a concealer with this one. And then finally, remember the oxidization. So you can see the color of this foundation now is complete, and I mean, it looks different. Like, I've got a ring light there, so you know, my face always is going to look lighter than the rest of my body on camera, but in real life it matches my chest perfectly. But when I put the foundation on, you know, when I first applied it, it was way lighter than, you know, my skin tone is normally. So yeah, definitely get samples before you purchase it, because it will oxidize. But just like, it's something that you'll know, because you don't want to like go and get your perfect match and then get home and then you've got like an orange pumpkin head. And don't laugh too hard. Like, we've all been there. I have been there several times. Like, you know, just cruising around and then, oh, you see in the mirror, wow, girl, you are orange. So yeah, definitely a fantastic foundation. I'm going to continue wearing this foundation over the next couple of weeks, see if it breaks me out, and if I've got anything to update you about that, you will find it in the description bar down below. But let me know if you've tried it. Let me know your thoughts on it. I think it's really, really good, and I definitely think it's worth the money in terms of oil production and oil control, and you know, just us oily girls. We're all oily girls here. We're an oily skin family on this channel, right? Dry girls, I cannot recommend it to you yet. I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, and also let me know if you've tried the product, what your thoughts were, you know, how you went, how you applied it, what primer, what powder, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I used the Laura Mercier Secret Translucent Powder, by the way. You know, it's my holy grail. Well, one of. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments down below. I love you guys so much. If you're not subscribed already, definitely hit the subscribe button, especially if you are an oily skin type. I am here for you, girl. I'm hugging you through the camera. I understand the struggle. I know. I mean, I just know. I know how hard it is. So yeah, definitely subscribe, and I love you all so much. I will catch you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.
Do you hear what I hear? Do you care? I care.